ready.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna sit on it.
Just tell me when you're ready.
No.
We're backstage at the St. Luke's Theater, where Kimberly Faye Greenberg has just played Fanny Brice. She's brought Fanny Brice to life again, or as she says at the beginning of the show, the ghost of Fanny Brice. How long have you been doing the show?
Well, we've been running Off-Broadway since about March, April. So it's been a couple months. I've been with the show about a year, though, workshopping it, making the CD, and it's been quite a journey. It's been really fun playing Fanny. And excuse me while I change, because I'm actually getting ready to play Sylvia and Danny and Sylvia next. So I'm switching out of Fanny and going into Sylvia.
Well, you are a great actress.
Thank you.
Did Chip DeFada find you, or did he write the show for you?
He didn't write the show for me. He actually found me in Danny and Sylvia. He saw me in Danny and Sylvia. He sent me an email and had said, by chance, do you know who Fanny is? I have this show that I'm creating. And I said, well, go figure. I had been studying Fanny to play her in Funny Girl for years, just if the opportunity had come along.
Have you played Funny Girl?
I have not played Funny Girl yet, so I'm waiting for the chance.
Well, that's great.
So it was kind of funny and how I kind of all came full circle in the fact that now that I play her in a one-woman show, and in actuality the show is a lot more, it's more truthful to her real life. People don't really know who she is.
Right. And now, have you been a fan of Fanny Brice for a long time?
I was a fan starting in college when I started to get to know more of her music and who she was and what she did. It kind of, it's funny because I feel like I was probably destined to play her because I was named actually after my great-great-grandmother whose name was Fanny. Mm-hmm. So my name is Faye, my middle name is Faye, so I feel like it was written in the stars or something. But then I was introduced to her in college because they were like, well, you're a Jewish girl and you kind of look like her, and the likeness is kind of uncanny. And so I started looking her up, and she's a fascinating woman. So, yeah.
Well, what would you think would be the greatest thing that you two have in common, other than your love of performance?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I think her chutzpah and the fact that she's just kind of woman who's not, I'm kind of a shy in real life, but I feel like when she's a go-getter, she's very determined, she knew what she wanted, and she went for it in a time when women weren't necessarily able to do so. And she was quite the woman of her time because she was the first highest paid American singing comedian. She sang and she was a comedian. She did both, and she did both great, and that's what made her a star.
Well, most of us who have come to know Fanny Brice through Funny Girl and Funny Lady are surprised to find there were so many things that I did not know about her.
Right.
It was interesting to hear about her father.
Right.
I never knew that she had a brother until today.
Yes.
So that was very interesting to find that out. What would you think that would be the greatest thing that we don't know about Fanny Brice that you've learned about Fanny Brice?
Oh my gosh. Well, I have to say with the Funny Girl, with the Funny Girl kind of similarity, Funny Girl is pretty much like a watered down version of her life. They really wanted to show Fanny in a really good light. It was kind of a love letter to Fanny Brice. Versus in real life, I think the most fascinating thing is Nick Arnstein. I mean, the man was a complete con man, and he was one of the biggest ones of his time. He worked with all the mobsters that we hear about. He swindled $5 million in Wall Street bonds, and yet this woman stayed with him for most of her life. And I think the other thing that was fascinating is she was married several other times, once before Nick and once after. I don't think you feel like you hear or know a lot about that.
Right.
Because at that time that was a big, no, don't ever do that. So,
and is there one part of the show that is actually your favorite part to perform night after night?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I sing, actually, everything I sing in the show is part of Fanny's canon of music that she did, but I actually have to say my favorite song is After You've Gone, which is actually a pretty well-known standard,
right.
But it's my big 11 o'clock number, and I love it.
And you do a great job.
Thank you so much.
Really
Thank you.
So what's next for you? You're going to stay with this show.
I'm with this show, and I'm doing Danny and Sylvia as well, and we'll see what's next. You never know what kind of thing spawns the next project.
So
we'll
what
see.
are the days that you are performing here at St. Luke's?
Fanny is Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays at 2 p.m. And Danny and Sylvia currently is Sundays at 4:30. So I do Fanny, and then I go right into Danny and Sylvia. And the schedule changes a little bit. We have several other shows in this space, so we kind of all juggle our schedules. But at this point, if you want to come see a matinee here at St. Luke's, more than likely you're going to be catching one of my
Kimberly,
shows.
it takes a real star to play a real star.
Oh, thank
and you're
you.
a real star.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for a great afternoon.
Thank you so much.
You.
It was lovely meeting you.
Thank you. That's it.